Hi everyone, it is Kat and Julie and we are back for another live class. So thank you so much for joining us. This class is going to be all about Halloween, just jewelry ideas, costume ideas, and we're here to just inspire you today. So be sure to start leaving comments because we have a giveaway. So our giveaway today is going to be really fun. We're giving you 2 of our Halloween kits here. You're going to get the Jack-o'-lantern Peyote bracelet kit. And you're also going to get the Nevermore gravestone earring kits. These are really fun. And what you're also going to get is we're going to talk a lot about kind of charms today, and we're going to talk a lot about cabochons and how you can make quick and easy jewelry. So we're giving you this lovely set of tiara cast Halloween charms. You got a little kitty, a little bat, a ghost, and some others there as well. And then we're also going to give you some blanks here, and I'm going to show you a project using little tiny cabochons to create some fun little Halloween barrettes. So you'll get the supplies to do that, and we're providing you with a little bit of E6000 there as well, so you can complete projects with what you see here. So you're going to get some lovely cabochons and earring backs and ring findings as well. So this is the giveaway, and all you need to do to win is to just leave a comment here on our live stream, and we will be giving this away live today. So in about an hour or so, we usually run about an hour. So you have plenty of time to leave a comment. So leave a comment, and you know what? I'm curious today where you guys are tuning in from and what you guys are going to be for Halloween. So what are your costume ideas? And maybe you guys can kind of share some and get some inspiration just from the comment feed today.
Yeah, so. Halloween is such a fun time of year. It's really where you get to just play.
Yeah. So it's dress up for grown-ups and kids. And kids like it too.
Play. I have to say, I love your cat ears.
Oh, thank you.
Kat is wearing cat ears.
These will probably be worn all of October and past then.
I think they have to be, and I think you have to make a pair for everybody.
I know. I was like, everybody's gonna get nice color coordinated little ears, and yes. I actually thought that you could do this by creating like little mouse ears if you just round the wire, or you can even create little devil horns with some red and just kind of wrap the wire. So a lot of fun ideas just in one little project.
Yeah.
I'm like,
you could do any type of animal. You could do bear, you could do rabbit. That's really fun.
Oh yeah, rabbit ears. I like that.
Rabbit ears.
Put one down.
Yes. All right, so yes, on my wish list.
Okay. Noted. So Julie, why don't you kick us off with talking about some of our Halloween charms and just some inspiration that you've been able to kind of poke around.
So I always have grand ideas of having a fabulous costume. And it never happens. What usually happens is I accessorize with a hat, a scarf, jewelry, and that ends up being my costume, which is great. You know, it's really fun. I still get to be festive and celebrate. So I love charms because they are so quick and easy, and they're usually right on theme. You can really make them into anything you want and then just pair some makeup with it and a few accessories and you're good to go. So here on my table, I've just pulled a few of the charms and I've put them into themes. So we see here we've got this great spider web, and I'm actually going to turn this into a really quick and easy necklace. So if maybe you're going as a vampire, that would be really fun, or a witch or something like that. You see we've got some Western charms for cowboys and cowgirls, angel wings, cheerleaders. That's always a fun costume. And then, of course, there's the costumes that really reflect what's popular in the media and are inspired by different characters. So we've got a really pretty rose, which could be Belle from Beauty and the Beast, some lightning bolts, which are actually what I'm wearing right now, which would be, of course, Harry Potter, Hermione, all of that type stuff.
Percy Jackson.
Oh, yes, Percy Jackson. We've got the pumpkin carriage and a castle, which could be Cinderella. And then Alice in Wonderland with the teapot and the little teacup, Aladdin's lamp. So if you're doing some of those themed characters, or maybe your kid is, maybe you have a child who's going as one of those, has gone ahead and got the costume all put together and you want to match. That's kind of a fun way of you participating.
Yeah, and I think that's a great idea because I am with you. I always have great plans, and then it always comes down to, all right, what's in my closet? Like just a hat, and then you just want one little extra thing to kind of pull it together to be like, this is a costume. This isn't just a Friday. So, but I love that. And honestly, like, I'm just looking at those little teapots and stuff. I would wear that just after Halloween as well, and that's always a nice thing because Halloween costumes can be very expensive.
They can
So having something like that where it's like, those little lightning bolts, you could wear that any day, it's not just Halloween. And I love it. They're so cute.
Yeah, and I liked them too. And honestly, guys, I made these in like the 3 minutes before we went live.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't have earrings. So it really took about 3 minutes, if that. So I'm going to put together a couple pieces for you right here so you can just see how quick and easy they are. So let's go ahead and do this guy first. So part of what, like Kat said, Halloween costumes can be rather expensive. And it's nice when you can do something that's really quick and easy and very affordable too. So I'm just gonna take this one piece here and a pre-made chain necklace. So it's already got the clasp on there, it's complete. And what I'm going to do is find the midway point and just take my cutters. So I've got that middle section. I'm just gonna cut right through the chain, like so. And now it's still got the clasp on it, it's all good to go, and I'm just going to attach it to those loops with a couple jump rings. So you'll need 3 ingredients for this project: jump rings, the finished chain, and that pretty spider web. I've got 2 pairs of chain nose pliers. And we're just gonna open up a jump ring. And I do like the spider web because it is so Halloween. And like I said, you could be going as a vampire, you could be a witch, you could be, hey, you could be a spider, you could be a ghost, you can be any of those things which are really iconic Halloween themes. And this will just really tie in nicely with it. And then it is a fun piece of jewelry. You could wear this even when it's not Halloween. So I'm just opening up those jump rings and I'm finding the end chain link, slipping it through it, and then just attaching it to that loop and closing it back up. And there we have a finished necklace, and that only took me a minute or 2 to do. So that's a fun piece. Now maybe you don't want to end up cutting a chain, you just want to take, like we've got this really pretty ball chain, and maybe you're going as a princess. So you got a little crown charm, and we're just going to take a jump ring again, open it up, and link it on.
You know, this is great. It's so nice and easy just to do it. And, you know, what's kind of fun is you could get some friends together and, you know, because I know people love to do group costumes. So this is a great way to be like, hey guys, let's all make our necklaces. And
then you have a souvenir of that Halloween.
Exactly.
So that's fun. So there's 2 necklaces, really quick. And then I do want to do my little Alice in Wonderland. So I'm going to just using some earring findings and different pieces and jump rings that I had around the design space, but maybe you don't have these things lying around. I do want to show you, we have these little kits.
These are really great.
So these are finding kits, and these are ones in particular are earring finding kits. And if you look on the back, it's telling you you're going to get earring hooks, head pins, eye pins, as well as a couple sizes of jump rings, which is basically everything you would need if you are going to be making this type of charm jewelry. And you get smaller amounts than if you were to buy a complete full pack of jump rings or a full pack of head pins. So if you are making jewelry for this occasion, it's nice to get everything in one nice little set.
Yeah, it makes it just that much quicker and that much easier.
Yes. So again, I'm just going to do this with jump rings.
I love the teapots.
I love the teapots too. So now I'm going to want to create a little chain with jump rings. And the way you do that is you just put on a jump ring, grab another jump ring, link it to the jump ring you already put on there. And then you can link this. Actually, I'm going to want one more so it sits the way I want it to sit. So that's something to keep in mind is jump rings are great at helping things sit properly on the earring hook so they're oriented correctly. So just keep putting jump rings together until you have really the length you want. So got the little chain of jump rings right here. Just going to put that on our earring hook. And one thing I like a lot this year, and I just think in general, I like earrings that are themed but not matching. So I've had a lot of fun personally mixing and matching charms where I have 2 different charms, but they coordinate and they make sense that they're together, but they're different, like a moon and a star charm, for instance. So that's one of my favorite things I've done this year for jewelry making.
Yeah, definitely seeing that a lot in trends, you know, and especially with just one, you know, I've seen a lot of people wear just one stud post earring and then one sort of dangle earring, so you kind of play with the dimension of it as well. It's really fun. It's a cool little trend. I like it.
I do too.
Mixes it up a little, you know.
It does, and it does feel playful.
Yeah, it does.
So here we go, just like that. We have a little teapot and a little teacup earring. So
I love it.
that is fun to do. So yeah, so those are just a couple ideas, really quick and easy charm jewelry. So many charms, hundreds and hundreds of charms. Really any theme you can think of. Music charms, cowboy charms.
Oh, yeah. Well, and they can inspire your piece, you know, like let's say you actually had those earrings and you're like, oh, I didn't think that, oh, maybe I could just be Alice in Wonderland this year and you have blue and white, and then you have your earrings. So it's so great. Yeah.
Exactly.
Just ties it all together.
So that's a couple ideas.
Yeah.
And then why don't we go over to Kat?
Sure.
See what
So I've been inspired kind of by using cabochons in some of the work that I've been doing. And one of the things that I've done is, before I talk about my cabochons, I have a little thing for you guys. So I have to confess, one of my favorite movies this year was Wonder Woman. So I made a pair of golden cuffs. Now, these were created using the vintage patina here, and this is the white gold color. And just really simply, you just sort of paint it on and it gives it that nice little shiny matte finish, which is just lovely. And if you wanted to go old school Wonder Woman, we do have the red star on top as well.
I love it.
So just another little costume inspiration, but this was so fast and just really, really easy to do. And it's just, you just paint the cuffs and you get the pair of them. So this is a project tutorial that is available at beadaholique.com. So you can get all of these supplies to make these lovely cuffs. So speaking of cuffs though, and the cabochons, going back to that, I just took one of our raw brass cuffs here and just added a few of these Lucite cabochons. Now these are really easy to work with. They're lovely and lightweight. And, you know, Julie was talking about Aladdin and I was like, oh, this is kind of Egyptian or, you know, like a king or royal or queen, you know? So I was just like, oh, that's so great. And I just love that idea of just kind of putting it onto one of those bracelet blanks and just making a quick little cuff. But you know what's funny is I see this stuff in the costume store and it is and you know, I'm just like, I don't know if I would wear this on a regular basis. Let's see here. Let me open that up a little bit from my wrist. But like, you know, I might wear that. It's not terrible. It's a little flashy, but you know. But anyway, so I was also looking at some of our other blanks that we have, and we have these great little stretch bracelets here. And these are really nice because they actually fit the cabochons right inside of them. So let's say you wanted to bring together a different piece or some sort of theme. Oh, I had some cabochons here that are a little bit more Halloween themed. So we have some skulls here, and you know, let's say I wanted to do something where I wanted to make it a little bit more of like a red rose kind of thing. There's just a lot of kind of just crazy, weird, fun things that you can do just by exploring what seems so simple.
Yeah, and this is the time of year to do that.
And I don't know, so it's kind of interesting. So what I'm gonna do actually is I'm gonna make a ring right now, and I'm gonna use E6000. Now, generally we recommend this size. However, if you're making a costume, you might want this size. But I'm gonna use the little one for my thing here today. So just to keep it nice and simple. And I'm gonna choose one of my big cabochons here, and this is just gonna be a nice little sort of statement piece. And let's see, let's just get some E6000 on my Post-it note. Always protect your surface there. And I'm just gonna take a toothpick, and in 2 ingredients here, I'm just gonna create this ring. So all I'm gonna do is just kind of put some of that glue here, move it towards the outside. I'm gonna keep most of it in the center though, that way it'll help prevent it from spilling over. You don't want that. And I think because I wanna make something that's a little bit more timely, I am going to use the owl. So I have this lovely owl cabochon here. You can see it's flat on the back, and I have that lovely owl shape on the front. And all I need to do is just slip it into place. I'm gonna hold it for just a moment. But then my ring is done. And now I can wear that with my costume. Let's say I wanted to do something that is just sort of fall and, you know, but then this is something that I would wear all the time.
Yeah, it's a great little piece.
Yeah, it's just, and it was, what, 30 seconds? But it's really great because then you can just take all the guesswork out of it because you can then find a cabochon, find the ring finding that you want, and just put it together. And it's really, really easy to do. So
absolutely, you have all these great blanks ready to go. So you're not even having to construct the piece of jewelry, which is nice.
Exactly, yeah. So if you're not a jewelry maker or don't want to deal with any of the fuss or muss, this doesn't take any tools. There's no tools with a lot of these. I mean, I think the most tool that you'll need is a toothpick and a paintbrush, you know, but that's it. So, you know, if you don't have jewelry making tools like Julie was using, this is a great option to use for some of your jewelry as well. Yeah. You know, and that way you can still kind of DIY your Halloween.
Which is fun. I mean, I love DIYing my Halloween.
Yeah.
You know, even if I do buy like a pre-made costume for my son or something, I add something to it.
Right, exactly.
You know, it's never just out of the box. You know, I always want to make it a little personal, do a little something to it. So that's always fun. Oh, and we have a question.
Question from Beatrice.
Hi, Beatrice.
Does the E6000 dry up in the tube?
Oh.
No, you saw I put my cap on right away. It's got a high viscosity, so you're actually pretty good with the E6000. As long as you keep the cap on, it shouldn't dry out. So, but also you can, if you want, you can buy multiple tubes of the small ones if you're worried about that. But for the most part, I think you can go, if you're going to be using a lot of it, you can go with the bigger tube and just keep that cap on and you should be good to go.
Yeah, I think I've found mine like a year later and it's still been okay as long as that cap's on there. So it does last a while.
I do. Sometimes I'll take this and I'll keep it in a plastic bag, just sort of, you know, because sometimes it is a little fumey because it is glue, so you might smell it a little bit. But also then if you keep it in plastic, you're assured that it's not going to dry out. So that's another little tip for you.
That's a good tip. And I actually do that with all my patinas, all my glues, anything that could spill. I always put in plastic bags.
It's kind of like when you're traveling. Like, I know that shampoo bottle is probably not going to spill, but just that one time that I don't put it in the plastic bag.
Yes,
you know?
Exactly.
So, but yeah.
So I was going to come back over. Whoa. Okay, so if we look at what has happened right here. So my bracelet uses a magnetic clasp, which just caught my necklace. Great little tip, I guess, is these little magnetic clasps. So this is a bracelet I made, and it used a skull charm chain. And actually, Kat has the other version of it over here. So
I have this here, and this is the gunmetal. Julie's wearing the matte black.
And the way that you can turn this into a bracelet, now I embellished it with some little pearls and bicones, but you wouldn't even have to. You could just take a cut length of the chain and add 2 jump rings and the magnetic clasp, and you will have a finished piece of jewelry. So really, really easy to do. And I love putting on magnetic clasp jewelry because I feel like I don't have to do anything to it.
It makes it nice and easy.
It just
and
clicks.
This charm chain is also great because you'll kind of notice, and I'm going to actually kind of set it down to see if you can really get a good look at it. So it is charm chain, which means all of these little skulls here are their own individual little charms, but they're attached with jump rings. So what you could do is you could cut or open up some of these links here. I think you actually have to cut these. I believe these are soldered. But you could also separate them and use them in a different format. So if you wanted to just have one hanging, you wouldn't need to have all of them. So there's a lot of different ways, especially to use that charm chain. So just another little kind of tip if you just wanted to use it. They almost look like table confetti.
Oh, I can see that, yeah. I love table confetti. It's messy, but I love it.
It's messy.
All right, so I'm going to show you one of my other favorite little quick and easy Halloween themed projects, I can say. So I've got these little beads right here, and they are little pumpkin beads. And every year I just love these. So we have the top stem and we've got the main pumpkin. And these are so quick and easy to turn into jewelry. So maybe you just want to be Halloween themed for Halloween. You don't necessarily want to be a character. You just want to celebrate Halloween. So you can go ahead and just put that on a head pin. And then I'm going to show you how to quickly and easily make a little wrapped wire loop. So I've got my wire looping pliers. So they're round on one side, concave on the other. We're just going to go ahead, use them, and we've already done half the work for us. Bend that wire around and then twist. And just like that, we made a little loop. And then we're just going to go in, trim it with our cutters, and then go back and tuck in our tail. So we've just created a little pumpkin dangle. Now with this, you can hang it from an earring hook, or what I thought would be really fun is I just have some spare chain. This is a great time to use up the its and bits you have in your craft room. So this was just some leftover chain from a project. I'm just gonna trim it. And of course, if I was making the pair, I would measure it and I'd probably cut both my chain lengths first. But since we're just
Always good.
always good.
Good to make sure they match.
Yes, you're not going back and counting chain links after the fact. But this
Been there.
is, oh yes, happens more frequently than one would think because you get inspired. You're just having fun.
It's like, oh, I got to make the other one. Right.
I know.
How did I make the first one?
All right, so we're just gonna put that jump ring through the end link, hang it to our little pumpkin, close up that jump ring. And then on the other side, we're just going to hang it from an earring hook. So here's another earring. It's quick, it's easy, it's Halloween themed. And we're using those fun little pumpkins. So just a little dangle earring of a pumpkin. And you can do that with anything, any of these charms. Like one of these little cookie ghosts be so cute hanging from there too.
I love it.
So other options, and I would personally wear this all October.
You know, I was gonna say, I was like, and it even kind of goes into November. It's very harvest, you know. So the thing that I like about that type of design is that it's not kitschy. It's actually very classic, and it's nice, and it's just a little nod to the season.
Exactly.
I love that. Yeah, and it kind of makes me want some pumpkin pie.
I know. Well, maybe as I'm showing some things that are just kind of fall inspired or harvesty, I thought I would just come over here real quick and just show some of like these skulls are really fun.
Go ahead. Because it's just and I love those too, and those use the same little pumpkin charm.
They do. So it's the same little pumpkin charm. It's just like a cornucopia. So this could be October, November. It's just kind of the fall, autumn season. So you see that you could wear either of these just really for a couple months, get a good life out of them.
And I love the cornucopia ones there. They use, it's not a gold, it's not a silver, it's more of a brass, and it's or an antiqued brass. So you get sort of, again, those warmer tones this time of year. So it's always a great thing to try to utilize as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, so maybe think along those lines too, where you can be thinking true Halloween or you can just be thinking fall. I think these earrings right here are very fall. This is a kit we have, it's a fringe earring kit, but I think the colors are just, you know, like you said, pumpkin
warm
pie,
pumpkin.
nutmeg, cinnamon. Oh, we do have another question.
Darla is having an issue with her metal pieces turning green when she wears them. Just wondering if there's any tips.
So Darla is asking, or is letting us know that some of her metal pieces are turning green. I wonder what they are. Is it a plated gold that you're working with? Because that is fairly unusual. Yeah. I will say I don't have it on our table here, but Vintage does make a metal sealer, and there are a couple of other products that we have that are jewelry sealers. So if you are working with something that might tarnish, like it sounds like it's tarnishing a little bit, and I would point you to anti-tarnish papers and keeping them in plastic. I know jewelry in plastic doesn't sound the nicest, but it is the way to keep them fresh. Also, I know a lot of people come to us with that same question, and I just wonder, like, are you wearing perfumes or lotions or swimming, or honestly just even extreme sun exposure? A lot of stuff during the summertime just tends to tarnish a little bit, and that's just nature, unfortunately. But there are ways to sort of protect it and keep your jewelry clean when it's not in use.
Yeah, so if you are going to wear perfume, spray before you put on your jewelry.
Yep, I know a lot of people who spray on top of it, and it's like, no.
So you got to think that those are some chemicals, that's some alcohol, some things actually.
It might be reacting to it.
Yeah. So that's something to keep in mind. If you are going to wear lotions, you are going to wear perfumes, just do that first as part of your routine and then put on your jewelry, because that was my first thought, was maybe it's a lotion, perfume, sunscreen type thing.
And you know what? 9 times out of 10 it usually is.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is to just protect your jewelry, you know, when you're not wearing it. But make sure that what you're getting is high quality. And we do have gold-filled pieces if you're looking at specifically gold, and that's great to use for ear wires because it generally doesn't upset most ears. I'll say that. I know some people just have very, very sensitive ears, but we do have the jewelry shield that I'm talking about actually protects even the most sensitive ears. So it's a great little thing to add, especially if you're giving a gift and you're not sure if it's gonna, you know, sort of affect that person or whatnot. So
yeah, that's a good tip. Well, speaking of jewelry, I feel like I want to show some of the jewelry pieces.
I was just going to say, let's dive in to show all these beautiful things that we have on our table here. So why don't you kick it off here? You got some, you were just talking about some skulls.
All right, so I really have fun with the Day of the Dead theme. So these I'm going to scoot away. These were for some mod earrings. So they're really big and bold and lightweight. So if you are doing like just
mod
80s, roller derby, anything like that, that'd be fun. But for, I'm going to let Kat pronounce this.
The Dia de los Muertos.
Okay, that was much prettier than it was going to be if I did it. So I've got these earrings here, and they're really colorful, and they're utilizing the rose theme, the skull, the bird, and we've got a really pretty lotus earring post here, which is a tiara cast, and this is a tiara cast as well, and some little, this is a little pre-made chain bit, so I didn't actually have to do that, which was really nice. There's a lot of work in there. And then we've got all these really pretty metal flowers, and I just glued them on, so that's fun. You can take any type of stamping blank and glue these flowers on using the E6000 glue. And then there's different sizes of these gemstone skulls, and they really come in all colors too. So that's a really fun Halloween themed item, or the Day of the Dead item. Also bones, some bone beads. And then these are not necessarily Day of the Dead, but these are just some wonderful sparkly Swarovski crystal skeleton earrings. And they're actually not all that heavy because we've gone ahead and we've used some lightweight seed beads between the crystals. So those are just a fun, glitzy, glittery project. And we have some other skull jewelry using the Swarovski, if Kat wants to point that out.
Yeah, so what we have here is what I did was I took the large hole beads here, and we actually have one of those skulls that comes on one of those channels. And let me just kind of move this out of the way here. There you go. So you can really see just sort of how that lays. And that's a great little thing. It's that European large hole style bead. And we have a lovely little skull there. And we do have another skull. Now this is the bead version that is on the earrings that Julie was just showing. And he sits inside this little beaded charmed little ring. And I just love that. And again, just that Swarovski crystal just stands out all by itself. I love it. These guys here are, oh, thank you, Julie. These are flat backs skulls, and these actually showcase the two sizes that we have. We have the smaller one and the larger one here, and this is the Banquo necklace, and I love this. This is done by our designer, Rachel, and it uses those flat backs again and just some of that E6000. It always goes back to that E6000. But over here, those crystals were embedded using crystal clay. So that's just a great little sort of, you know what I love about that bangle is that you almost don't realize what it is until you look up close.
Yeah, that's very true. And we didn't really talk about crystal clay in this class very much. Crystal clay is an epoxy two-part clay, and it's self-hardening, which means you don't have to bake it. And so the advantage of that is you mix it with your fingers. We have lots of videos on it actually. And you can put all these crystals down into it, and you can set different objects down into it, and it hardens on its own. So if you're familiar with like a polymer clay that you have to bake in the oven, the advantage of an epoxy clay is that you don't have to bake it. So you're going to be able to just let it air dry, and it's going to be hard and durable, and you can make really fun projects with it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you heard it when I accidentally dropped it on the table. It's nice and hard and stiff, so you don't have to worry about that. So yeah, so just lovely little ideas with, just different medias and, just a lot to do with all kinds of different things here. So
absolutely. Oh, we have another question.
Question from Angie.
Hi, Angie.
She has a lot of skull beads that have very large holes, and she's not sure what to do with them. What would you suggest?
So what I would suggest, and
Angie's asking about. No, it's okay. Just in case you didn't hear, Angie's asking that she has a lot of skull beads that have large holes. So what could you do to sort of make them sit properly and kind of fit?
So unfortunately, I did not pull out any seed beads at all for this table of ours. But
I think this is the one time in our history that no seed beads are on this table.
What I would do is, if you look here at the skull bead, so this is like a medium-sized hole. It's not terribly large. I have a feeling that Angie's holes are larger than this. Let me just see if this even... Okay, so a lot of head pins would pull through a larger hole. What I would recommend doing is either pairing it with a bead cap on either side, like you see that I did here. This lined it up better for me in this particular instance as well. Or you could put a larger, like even a seed bead or a bicone bead. If that hole is really large, what I would do, and this is something I do actually with European style large hole beads, is I take a head pin, I put a bicone, like a 4 millimeter on it. I then put on my bead that has a larger hole. The bicone will actually sit halfway into it, but it stabilizes it. And then I do the same exact thing on the other side. So it's really like sandwiched between these two bicones. And then you can create a wrapped wire loop or a simple wire loop, however you want to then affix it to the rest of your project.
Well, and just kind of showcasing what you did here, these are slightly larger.
Yes.
But I am noticing you used the micro spacers up here at the top, but those could also be used on either end because they're a little bit squatter. They kind of have a donut shape. So if you want to use something that you don't really want to see, that would be a great option to use, is those micro spacers.
And you could also wire wrap it. You could, in theory, put enough, you could wire through it several times to stabilize it and then do some type of wrapping up top. So that would be another option for you as well.
Yeah, because this actually, the wire wrapping that you did up top helped it from even just twisting around because you wanted it obviously to face forward. And that's sort of a great little just tip with many beads, you know, that have those large holes.
Exactly.
So in gemstones, the holes on gemstones and pearls especially, they can vary so greatly. So yeah, so we're always looking of like, okay, well, how do I make it sit properly? Because sometimes you'll get a head pin in there and then your bead will be like, you know, so.
Yeah, so wire, beads, bicones, think of ways of sandwiching it, think of ways of anchoring it. There's definitely a way of working with those beads. So you can use them, definitely they'll be able to be incorporated into a project. And we'd be more than happy to go ahead and show you some of those techniques and quick tips too. I think those would be great quick tip videos. That
we have a whole series of quick tip videos that, you know, it's just like stuff that we just think of and we're like, oh, you know what? I bet someone is asking that question of how to just stabilize my bead. And it's very simple stuff, but it's like sometimes you have to experiment a lot, and we get the joy of getting to experiment a lot, so then we want to bring those videos and those tips to you guys. So
absolutely.
But actually, I want to do a little giveaway reminder here if you are just joining us on our live stream here. So this is what we are giving away today. This is a $50 value, and we have our Jack-o'-lantern Peyote bracelet kit, so you'll get all you need to create this lovely kit. And we also have another kit here. This is the Gravestone Nevermore earrings, so they're really lovely. And then as we were talking, Julie was sort of going over some fun things to do with charms, and I was talking about some of those lovely cabochons. You can make some rings, or I even have some earring pads and backs here that I've provided for you. And of course, we're giving you your own E6000. And this actually reminds me that I want to go back and talk a little bit about how to make those hairpins with just lovely little sort of cabochons. So I'm going to actually do that right now. So all you need to do to win the giveaway here is to just leave a comment on this post, and we're going to be giving it away live, so make sure you're leaving your comment now. But of course, if you're watching this and it's not live, be sure to still leave comments too. We love to hear from you guys as well. All right, so I'm going to talk just about these, and these came out because my niece wanted something to wear to her Halloween party in class, and they couldn't do costumes yet for Halloween, so they're having a big Halloween parade at school. But she wanted to wear something that was a little festive, so I created these guys. And I'm just gonna show you how easy and fast this comes together. And what's really great is you'll notice for a lot of our items, especially, so these orange pads here, you'll get 10 to a lot. Now for the black pads here, you'll get 12 to a lot, but that does mean that you can make 10 hairpins, yikes, 10 hairpins, but it's actually really nice and easy. So a little tiny dab of E6000 there, and you don't want to do too much. And I'm just sort of twirling my toothpick. All right, so now I'm going to show you just a neat little trick. So I have it on my table there. I'll put it on the yellow so you can see it. And I'm just going to go face down so I can center it and press down. So I'm just going to hold that for just a couple of minutes there, but you can see how it turns out here. So really like just nice and easy, and this will set in just a second, but okay, there we go. But yeah, so that's just a fun little way, and you know, if I just wore like 2 in my hair, it's just a little nod to the classic colors of black and orange for Halloween.
And it's super cute.
Yeah, I was like, they're just
very charming.
Just cute and just tiny and adorable. All I love tiny and adorable
I know.
things. So, but yeah, and you know, again with the gluing on ear pads, I was inspired to make sort of a Gatsby-esque design here, and these are just vintage style cabochons here. So if you're going as Gatsby or 20s or anything that's sort of vintage or Victorian, you know, this is a great little, again, quick and easy thing where you could wear these year round, you know, but it's a nice little way to sort of bring it all together. And it's just a nice little earring back and a pad. So super quick, super easy. I'm all about it.
Another thing that I know is super quick, because I watched you do it, but it's so fun, and I'm sure people have been seeing this on the table through the video.
I know.
This is our new favorite thing. This is amazing. So what was your thought on this one?
Okay, so we were looking up top Halloween costumes, and believe it or not, year after year, it is a gumball machine. And I was like, I bet I could make an accessory to go with it. So I took pom-poms, an E6000, and one of our blank bracelet cuffs and made a gumball party cuff. I just thought it was just so fun, and it was actually really just like, it's so colorful. And you know what? It's funny. It's so soft. You almost just want to like just touch it. But yeah, so again, it's just about thinking outside of the box and how you can accessorize something, because a lot of the gumball costumes I saw was a very colorful top, a red mini skirt, and then just like they had like a little 25-cent gumball hat that they just made. And I was like, that's so cute. And that, just a little cuff, just sort of brings the whole thing together, and you know, in just a kind of a simple, fun way. Now, I don't know if I'd wear that all year round, but I might.
I love that. I love that. So I do want to show some more pieces, and I think what I'm going to show right now are pieces that take a little bit more time.
So we're getting into more complicated items.
Yeah, so this is a little bit more prep work, and these are some, oh my gosh, I love these. These are by our designer, Alexandra, and they're candy corn earrings using circular brick stitch. So if you love bead weaving or loom work or kumihimo or crochet, is really fun to be able to theme your jewelry this time of year. So you can pick a really great color palette, or she was like inspired by this charm. So that's a great thing to do. I know Kat made this bracelet, and actually it's 2 bracelets.
Yeah, so both of these, the pair of earrings that Julie just showed and this one here, these are Miyuki Delica palettes that we have. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to kind of play around with the negative space by creating 2 bracelets, and the other 2 sort of natural Halloween colors are going to be that green and purple, sort of that kind of Beetlejuice-esque colors. Yeah, witchy. So, but then I wanted to kind of put them together, so when you layer them on top, you kind of get this fun little kind of rainbow effect of those Halloween colors, or you could wear them separately. So just some fun stuff. But yeah, that's just endless peyote stitch that is just stitched together, and you create those lovely little loops.
And look at that clasp. How cute is that? So one thing I love about our classes that we do here live is I get to see some stuff that I don't normally see.
Yeah.
You know, like I'll see you working on it, or you'll see me working on it, but it's nice to see the finished pieces, because I didn't know you finished it like that. That's so cute. So that's a great one. And then loom work here. That's a fun way of incorporating a pattern. You can do a theme. You can do, like, she's got the bats and the kitty cats and the pumpkins.
I love that. And I love the way she's edged it as well. It's just a really nice, and these slide clasps provide a really nice sleek finish. So those are really, really great to work with too. And we also have some beaded crochet here with, again, just by adding that nice little charm on the end, just sort of brings the whole thing together. And let's see, oh, you know, these were, I think we made these last year. These were done by our designer, Rachel, and these are the butterscotch candy earrings. So, of course, Halloween is all about candy as well. So this is, and again, just another little sort of nod to the season, and I just kind of like that. And those are Swarovski crystals. So, oh, we have another question.
Question from Pat. Can you use those skull beads on the Rapid Loom?
Oh, okay, so the question is from Pat, and can you use the skull beads on the Rapid Loom? Yeah.
Absolutely.
They're a bead, they have a hole in them, so you might have to work on stabilizing them a little bit. So that would be a little bit of experimenting, just dependent on the size of the hole and just how they sit. So the Rapid Loom has basically 2, like a parallel cords, I guess, outer cords you could say, and you're sandwiching beads between those parallel cords if you're not familiar with it. So we just might need to see how they're going to sit in that space, and you might need to add a seed bead or a bicone or something to both sides of them so that they sit facing forward and are anchored properly. But yeah, you can definitely use them.
Yeah, because the holes on those, as Julie has still on her head pin, they're drilled bottom to top. So you'll get them and they'll kind of sit facing around your wrist, so they won't sit up and down, if that makes sense, because you're wrapping sideways on the rapid loom. But yeah, you could definitely do that, and I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, that would be really fun. We love the rapid loom. We have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
We constantly are finding more things that you can do with it.
I know. There's going to be some more videos here in just a little while.
Yes.
Sneak. But okay. Oh, I did want to say, like, the idea of taking jewelry that you might already have and kind of turning it into a costume. So this is a piece that I had done actually quite a long time ago. But these little earrings here use that aluminum fabric, and I just think disco queen. If you're going as like the 70s or something, and you just want to bring that together. So this is a great way to, again, either make jewelry that you can wear again, or use jewelry that you might already have and sort of elevate it to a costume idea. Because I think that's always really fun. You know, use what you have, add to it, you know, make it something new, let a friend borrow it, get it back. But that's always a great thing too. And again, like just some little owl earrings here. It's very Harry Potter. But again, just seasonal. It's great.
Or maybe you have something like, for instance, I don't know if I have any samples here, but you might have, like, what was I looking at here? Like, I was looking at these little owls. Like, let's say you had maybe even an earring that's just like a loop like that. You have just a simple little plain earring. Just add a charm to it.
That's so
You
smart.
can put something on a head pin, an eye pin, a jump ring. So you might just have a really elegant, simple piece of jewelry and just hang a charm on it. You've already got the earring hook. You've already got the construction made.
Yeah.
And that's a way of just taking it to that, you know, spirit of Halloween, spirit of fall level without having to go to a lot of work or a lot of expense.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, there's so many things that you can do. So just have fun and explore. And honestly, a lot of the stuff that we've talked about today is inexpensive. And I know, like we were saying, costumes are expensive. So, but this is a great chance for you to just get it together and just play and have fun with it. And, you know, this is why we're also doing this class early on in October, so you guys have plenty of time to find out what you're going to be, think about it early. Don't let it go to the last minute. But then you can just kind of have fun, and that way it's not so stressful of, oh my gosh, what am I going to be?
Exactly.
But yeah, so be sure to keep leaving comments of what you guys want to be for Halloween or what your kids are going to be or something like that. So that would be great to hear.
Yeah. And we do have another question.
Oh, great.
Question from Maria.
Hi, Maria.
She's wondering if handmade jewelry can match the quality of store-bought costume jewelry.
Oh, okay. So the question from Maria is, can handmade jewelry match the quality of store-bought jewelry? And I would say absolutely yes. And in some cases, definitely exceed the quality.
I was just going to say, I was like, I've been to some costume shops, and sometimes it's like, will this last the night? I honestly, I think if you're doing it well made, you know, and just doing proper techniques of things, then there's no reason why it shouldn't last you a long time, actually.
E6000 is very strong. It holds up very well. I have a lot of pieces that I've had for years. So if you are doing gluing and you're using E6000, so that's really part of the equation, is using the right ingredients.
Yeah.
If you were just say using like a white glue, like an Elmer's or something like that, and you're trying to glue it on, it's probably not going to hold up for you.
Right.
But if you're using something like E6000, it will. If you really want high, like we've been talking about doing this in a really affordable way, you can elevate it. You can use sterling silver. You can use gold filled. You can use silver filled. If you really want to invest that, maybe you're making pieces that you think you're going to want to wear time and again, or that are seasonal and not necessarily for one night, you can definitely do that. But even the silver plated and the gold plated, they're nice quality. They're going to hold up. They're going to be a really nice piece of jewelry. And a lot of those components are the same components that designers who sell their jewelry in stores are using.
Well, I was just going to say, I was like, we did talk a lot about the Swarovski crystal, which is a great utilization of, you know, sort of a higher end item that will last you. And I don't think we touched on it. So there's this beautiful necklace here, and this uses the Swarovski double spike beads, and it is just gorgeous. But this piece, this is handmade by us here at Beadaholique. It is great quality though, and you know, the thing is it could be a piece of costume jewelry, but it doesn't have to be. So I think that's also, you know, kind of what we've been talking about, of think about what you could wear outside of your costume, or you know, what you can kind of bring to it. But I absolutely think that handmade jewelry is sometimes almost better made than a lot of the costume jewelry that you might find. So yeah.
And you get to make it however you want it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was like, and then it's custom. Love custom. Yeah, so actually speaking of, if you wanted to make some Halloween jewelry and Swarovski crystal, we have our lovely Halloween earring kits. Now, like I said, you're going to get the Nevermore gravestone earring kit with your giveaway if you should win it today. But this is a great way to sort of introduce some of those jewelry techniques where you're going to be making some simple wire loops, you're going to be cutting some chain, you're going to be opening jump rings. So again, it's a simple technique, but they're well made, and you're using Swarovski crystal, so it doesn't look, I hate using this word, it doesn't look cheap. You know, I was like, the idea is to not look cheap, but just to look like, you know, oh, it is going to be DIY, but I think those look really lovely. And I've seen very many, you know, a lot of styles like that in stores. And, you know, again, just going back to the charms, those use the tiara cast charms, but you could put any charm that you wanted, or let's say, you know, you were going to use the carriage charm that Julie was talking about with if you're going to be a princess or Cinderella or something, you could add pink and white bicones or blue and whatever, you know, so it just kind of, it brings together that it doesn't have to be kitschy, it can be actually very classic. So,
absolutely. And if you're new to jewelry making, we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos of how to. So if even everything from how to open a jump ring, how to make a wire loop, to how to do loom work, how to do peyote. So we can walk you through it if you're worried about the integrity of your piece, if you are new to it and you're not sure if you're going to be able to, you know, create a piece that will be solid and be of a good construction. Follow along on our videos. We have, of course, our YouTube channel. You can subscribe to it, always be notified of new videos. But we will walk you through each step of the way. We also have guides on our website, which will be like, you're new to beading, start here. And it's going to show you where to start and walk you really from the very beginning all the way up to more advanced techniques. And we're here for you too. Ask us questions. Facebook is a great way of, you know, like commenting and asking us questions on Facebook, or ask us questions on YouTube, send questions to customer service for us. We're really there to help you if you do get stuck along the way.
Yeah, and everything that you see here, guys, is available at beadaholique.com. It's the resource for all of our inspirations and where we go, you know, to, I mean, of course we shop our own stuff, but you know, it's a lovely place to be able to kind of find all of these DIY type of pieces here. But, you know, I think the thing that I was just sort of thinking as Julie was talking is the word DIY or the phrase DIY has kind of become synonymous with inexpensive or not great quality. And I really find that to be not true. You know, you can find it, but most of the people who are doing DIY now want to make really good stuff so that it lasts, so that their stuff is, you know, timeless and whatnot. So I don't know. I think I like DIY stuff, but even if I don't like the phrase, but but do it yourself. So yeah. All right, so one last kick to our giveaway before we are ready to kind of wrap things up. I'm going to show you one more thing before we do that though, but just a last little look at our giveaway here. You're going to get all of these lovely pieces. You're going to be able to make some projects right away once you receive this, so that's always nice to have. You're going to get 2 kits, some lovely charms, and some cabochons with some E6000 and some findings to go with that as well. And I just want to talk really quick about these bails here, and you can see that I have made this lovely choker necklace here. And this is just really simple. So all I did was take that little bail and I glued it to the back of my cabochon there and added a black ribbon and tied it in a bow. So there are no other tools, no other findings, nothing else that you need to create just a nice little sort of choker style for that. And the last thing I want to say about sort of costume jewelry is I have a piece here, and this uses the Hot Fix. And Hot Fix is a Swarovski crystal that has a sort of glue on the back that is activated by heat. So these are Hot Fix here, so you can see it kind of looks studded on the front, but on the back, nothing. So what it is they look like this here, and I actually kind of already did a few pieces on my table here, but the back has that lovely little glue piece, and you can kind of see it. It's got a little bit of that rose color there. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do this with my tool. Just really quick right here, just while we're picking our giveaway winner, I'll kind of see what I can do. So this is the Hot Fix tool, and it is the cordless version. So what I'm going to do is just sort of open that up, and I'm going to turn it on. And you can see that it has a nice little light at the end of it, and that'll sort of help, and you can see where it's gonna go there. But what you wanna do is you just wanna take your rhinestone, and I'll just place mine just right there. I'm just gonna give this just another minute or two to kind of warm up. This is a great tool, and this, again, I'm using this with the Ultra Suede here, but you can do this with a lot of different fabrics. And so what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna go up and over top and place it down. And I'm just gonna hold it for just about 30 seconds or so. Just let that glue sort of activate, and it's gonna glue it right onto my Ultra Suede. Oops. I don't think I let it heat up enough.
It's hard to be patient when you want to be creative.
I know. I'm just like, can I just make this happen faster, please? All right. Let's see if it's heated up a little bit more now. I should have opened my tool beforehand. All right, and there we go. And it is on there. Oops. Nope, it's not. I lied. I'm just kidding. This is terrible. This totally works, I swear. My goodness.
No, it's one of those things. It does have to heat up. And,
yeah. Like I said, I should have opened it a minute or two ago.
Oh, and we have another question.
Oh, good. Continue with the questions.
Actually, two questions.
Two questions.
Oh, good.
Pat is asking if the hot fix holds permanently for a long time.
Okay, so Pat is asking if
Once
the
it
hot
takes.
fix holds permanently for a long time, and the answer is yes. It really does secure it on there. If you look at the back, I'm going to pull.
Go for it.
I'm sorry to reach in front of you.
No.
If you look at the back of these crystals, you see they do have that glue coating on it. It is not activated, so it's dry at this point, but it is the hot fix tool that will activate it and then is going to be secure on there. So they use these a lot for costumes for dancers, gymnasts, ballerinas, ice skaters, people who are moving a lot, whose costumes get a lot of wear. That's what these are usually used for. And so they have to be really strong and permanent.
Yeah, it's a great for a lot of dance costumes and cheerleading, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, I've seen people affix these to ribbons and just many other sort of fabrics as well. So, but yes, see, now it's on there because I gave it enough time.
And we do have another question as we're looking at that.
So that is nice and tight on there. And again, like you don't see it at all on the back of the Ultra Suede here. So just another fun little thing to sort of use if you want to add a little sparkle or glitz to your costumes. So nice little thing.
Beatrice and Teresa are both having problems with allergies with earring findings.
Okay.
Anything for that?
Gotcha.
So the question is regarding allergies and earring findings. So you can do it. Well,
I was just going to say there's a lot of options. Surgical steel.
Yes.
And always, I know for a lot of people who have sensitive ears, nickel is usually the culprit. So you can find something that's nickel free. Surgical steel is probably your best bet. And again, just making sure that you're cleaning any jewelry that you have and the jewelry shield. That's the other thing that I would recommend.
Yeah, so if you are sensitive, definitely check the content of the metal.
Yeah. And that jewelry shield you can actually get at Beadaholique.com. So it's a great little, and it comes in, it looks almost like a little nail polish kind of paint on, and it's clear, and it looks like clear nail polish, but this is definitely formulated to sort of protect your ears and to protect the metal around it. So it's good to use. Okay, so.
All right, and we have a giveaway winner.
Yay!
So this will be the winner of our Halloween giveaway, and the winner is Jill Lewis. So congratulations, Jill.
Yay.
We will be sending this to you, and we'll get it out right away so you have plenty of time to make these items before Halloween.
Yeah.
So, and once you make some stuff, we would love you to send us pictures.
Yeah.
That would be really fun. So congratulations, Jill.
Thank you, Jill, and thank you to everyone who kind of tuned in. I know it was a little unconventional for us to kind of just talk costume stuff, but I think this was really fun, and I love Halloween. I enjoy kind of, I wish I had more days of being able to dress up.
Yes.
But, then people start to look at me funny. So thank you so much for joining us today. I am Kat, and this is Julie, and it's been a great time, and we'll see you next time right here on Live.
All right,
Bye.
thanks so much, guys.